Warning. This podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
Yo, what's going on? I am Scoots Bronson.
And I am S. Foster.
And this is the Viewers Anonymous podcast. What's going on with you, Brody?
You know, just trying to be like those people that say another day in paradise, man. I'm trying to make it to that finishing point, man. So, you know, I've been working on some things. I know I've been saying it for a minute. You know what I'm saying? People will know what I'm talking about in due time. But you know what I'm saying? I've been working on some things behind the scenes, man, and things are looking pretty good right now, man. So can't really complain. How about yourself, man?
Man, listen. I ain't been asleep in 2 days. And I am delirious. Okay. I don't know why I can't go to sleep. I done tried a whole bunch of different stuff. This is the first time it's been like 2 nights back to back. But I don't know, man. Maybe I'm gonna have to take a jog or something around the neighborhood at night. You know what I'm saying? See if that help out.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what to do, man.
Yeah, you know.
Take a Benadryl.
Oh, yeah, no, that don't work.
Look, listen, yo. I had took some Benadryl probably like a month and a half ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I took the shit because I know what Benadryl do to me. That used to be my main allergy thing, when I was younger. And I know it makes you drowsy, but it's been some years because I've been on Allegra. So I took one probably like a month and a half ago back. When I tell you, dude, I bunked out in my podcast chair, like to the point where like my head is like no support on my head, like I'm just out.
Oh,
get
man,
in the bed and sleep, and I didn't have to work the next day. So it was because it was like a Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I tell you I woke up the next day, dude, I was drowsy until about 4 p.m. the next day. And I took it at like 9 o'clock.
If I take that Benadryl, I'm gonna be sitting in that recliner like I'm on lean.
Hey, but I'm telling you, hey, that's what it does, man. That shit will put you down. But for me, anyway.
I tried melatonin, that didn't work. You know what I'm saying? I got a weed pen, that didn't work. I'm like, bro, this is all bad, bro. So I don't know, man. Terrible. Yeah, I've even taken some extreme measures.
Yo, listen.
And I ain't gonna go there, but I've taken some extreme measures, and that didn't work. And I know if that don't work, it's all bad.
Man, listen, I don't think people realize how important sleep is, man. I think a lot of these rappers try to make it, especially in the early 2000s, try to make it cool to, oh man, never sleep, man. I could be making money. Nah, my guy. Like even I tell you a rapper who had to go back and change their words, man. Rick Ross, he was on, I forget which podcast he was on. He was like, yo, that whole little no sleep stuff, I could be making money. He was like, nah, like I don't subscribe to that no more. He was like, man, that was the reason why my health was failing. And he was just like, yo, there's only so much you could do in a day. I know that whole mindset of, yo, I'm not gonna sleep right now because there's somebody else that's up and they making money moves. That's just like you would hear people say, oh man, I was practicing on my jump shot till 3 o'clock in the morning because there's probably another dude that's shooting until 4. It's like, yo, like if you tired, you ain't really gonna be as productive as you would have if you would have got rest. So get rest. I hope you get the rest good tonight, man. But
I will, because I'm telling you now, I'm about to go to 0 dark 30. Just turn everything the fuck off. Put some noise canceling joints on, close my eyes and lay there until it happens.
Wow, but not dark 030, William.
I'm tired of it, man. But yeah, man. Outside of that, everything's been pretty good.
That's good, man. So
I found some beef jerky.
But you can add it.
You want to be
I'm
jerky?
fuck beef jerky. Nah, man. You want to know? This is my thing, yo. If it smells funny to me, I can't eat it. I'm one of those people. Like if it smells bad to me, I can't put it in my mouth. I can't do it. You stupid.
Respect. I can't. I that's a rule I also agree with. But beef jerky is fire. I don't even. Man, listen. I forgot I had this.
Man, I can't.
But first and foremost, I gotta thank you because this movie that we about to cover, right? This is a damn good movie.
Okay.
This is a damn good movie. I was entranced with this movie. Very much so.
All right, man. Look, listen. I figured you would appreciate this, man. And what this man is talking about is the 1957 version of 12 Angry Men. The star was Henry Fonda, which me and you went down the whole Fonda thing about the family members that came from him. You know what I'm saying? He had Lee J. Cobb. You know what I'm saying? He was in The Exorcist joint, the 1973, one of the best horror movies I feel to ever come out.
That was
he was in that
banker
movie.
dude, right?
No, he was like the cop guy.
No, I'm talking about in 12 Angry Men, he was a broker. Dude,
was he a broker? I thought, yeah, the dude with the glass. No, Lee J. Cobb was the gentleman that he was the last one to flip.
Oh, the angry dude.
Yeah, the angry dude. Yeah. He was the last one to flip, and he was in the Exorcist movie. Sadly, I believe everyone that was cast in this movie is passed. I think everybody is dead. But you had John Fiedler in it. He was the voice of Piglet.
Really?
Yeah, from Winnie and the Pooh. And when you think about his voice, he sound kind of funny. The short dude with the glasses.
Yeah, with little skinny dude.
Yeah. So he had some people, man, to do some things out in the world, man. They had Jack Warden in it. You remember The Replacements with Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
You remember the dude that was the owner of the Washington Sentinels? Like he was the one that taught the Hugh Jackman to get the job. Well, not Jackman, but he's
Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
The dude that talked him into it.
Mm-hmm.
He was in this. He was Juror 7.
Okay.
So it was some people in there, man. It was people in there, but like one of the most fascinating things about this movie, and one of the reasons why I was like, yo, I think he would really appreciate something like this, was just seeing somebody go into a room and then everybody in there have their own agendas. You know what I'm saying? Like one dude, like, yo, I got tickets to the game tonight. I'm trying to get up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like everybody is completely convinced, like, yo, this dude did it. Let's get the guilty joints and let's get out of here. And for one guy to be like, yo, like, I just, first of all, he was just like, yo, I don't think we should do this in 5 minutes. Like,
right.
There's no way that we could determine somebody, because it was the death penalty. And I was wrong. I got it mixed up with To Kill a Mockingbird. This was an immigrant. It wasn't a black guy. It was an immigrant who was accused of killing his father.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, at first, he was like, yo, I think we should take, more than just 5 minutes to determine somebody's life. And then once she started going in there and they started picking at all of the pieces of the evidence that was had and all the people who was the people that spoke on the stand, they was able to pick everything apart to be like, yo, we could throw reasonable doubt in all of this stuff, man. So what was your initial thoughts, man, when you watched this movie for the first time and be like, oh shit, it's right again on another.
Right again, as usual. Okay, so it's two things, right? So the first thing is the great acting in this movie, because this is basically like a single scene movie. They literally are in a deliberation throughout the whole movie, right? They go, well, it's not necessarily a single scene movie, but it's a majority single scene movie. Let me say that. But they literally go from the end of hearing the trial. They all go into deliberation, and then from there on out, it literally goes into, you know what I'm saying, what's supposed to go on. So hearing that, seeing that, I was thoroughly impressed because each character had so much about them that they let out through, you know what I'm saying, through the whole movie in just that one, basically that one scene. It was one big long scene. And so I was thoroughly impressed with the way that they built the characters up, with the angry juror, how basically he seen his son in the
and the accused murderer.
Yeah, in the murderer. He basically seen his son because, you know what I'm saying, he was basically saying like, you do everything for them and then they still grow up and, not do anything that you want them to do. And then he was talking about how his son had ended up, you know what I'm saying, like standing up to him. And then you seen the one, the older guy, the older juror who, you know what I'm saying, he kind of had a empathy for him. You know what I'm saying? Once, you know what I'm saying, he basically thought about it because he was, he was saying like, yo, you don't want to just, especially after he heard Henry Fonda's point, he was just saying like, you don't want to just throw this man's life away, you know what I'm saying, for no reason. We basically need to, you know what I'm saying, really sit and think like, did he do it or didn't he do it? And then, with each character, it was nice to actually see the, like, you know what I'm saying, the ups and downs of each character. You've seen the emotionals, you know what I'm saying, you've seen the comedy and the characters and everything else. So I thought that was very interesting. And the second one, which to me stood out the most, is that, to me, this is more so of a reflection of society. You got 12 people assigned to a jury, and then each person has something to do. This is the last time, you know what I'm saying? This is the last one. They about to go into deliberation, make the decision. And, dude, like, yo, let's hurry up and get out of here. I got to go to a baseball game. He not even worried about, you know what I'm saying, the stuff that's going on. He more so trying to get to that baseball game. He over and done with. And then, it's other people in there who actually cared about the trial, who paid attention to the trial, stuff like that. And so, you know what I'm saying, I thought that was very interesting because that's especially if you've never done jury duty, that's a point of view that you probably would never get unless you're actually in one of those rooms. Another interesting thing that I thought about was, and this is all in the same thing though, but it was the fact that because of Henry Fonda's character, they actually went through the process of giving him a fair trial and what is it called? Due process.
Due process, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Giving them a fair trial and due process, because now instead of everybody seeing everything, just going back there and saying, well, it seemed like he was guilty and leaving out, you had that one dude that was like, well, you know what I'm saying, we have to be proven to beyond reasonable doubt, of course. Well, I got some doubt. You know what I'm saying? I seen some things that didn't kind of make sense. And so and what I did like too is that he was saying like, well, I'm not trying to convince anybody. He was like, you know what I'm saying? Basically, you guys need to be convincing me. And so, once they went through the motions and everything, everybody kind of seen like, well, this ain't a, saying open and shut case. So, yeah, it was a very impressive movie, man, as far as the point of view and the reflection of how society is. And then what I also liked about it too was the older gentleman who was talking about the immigrants. You know what I'm saying? You could tell he was one of those type of guys, and how, you know what I'm saying, you seen everybody kind of because he did it like 3 or 4 times in the movie where he would say that, like, they're low down, they do nothing, they're criminals and none. And then that final time he did it, everybody started to see him for who he really was. And they kind of, saying dispersed and got away from him. And then he started to see how ugly he really sounded. So I just thought it was very impressive movie, man. Very thought-provoking. Very thought-provoking. What about you?
Man, look, I told you before, this is my favorite black and white film, man. And then I think the script was done very well, especially for its time, because to add the race factor in there, to add the people, and also something else I like was the fact that because he was juror, which juror was he? He was juror 8.
Mm-hmm.
Henry Fonda was, and I like how the way that he approached everything, and the way that they was able to flip. How do I want to say this? Like, he was able to be calm and collected about something when everybody's coming down on you.
Exactly.
And that's why I said, like, I don't conversate with a lot of people, but you know what I'm saying, we talk I mean, as far as pod wise, twice a week, but sometimes we speak more. Right. And to speak with someone like you, I was like, yo, I don't know a lot of people, but I said, I believe I know one guy who could take that heat for a minute to be like, yo, I just feel there's something fishy here. Like there's something going on, and it's not so clear cut, because I don't think that a lot of people can sit in a room with 11 people and you be the only one that's saying, yo, there's some reasonable doubt here. And everybody's coming down on you. Everybody's mad at you because everybody wants to leave. Everybody has their single agenda of why they want to leave. And it's like to sit there and to take that pounding in the beginning and to be able to get one by one for people to flip. Like, I know they'll do that, man. Like to be able to, y'all are not gonna make me just say guilty because all 11 of y'all are saying guilty. Like, I got some doubt. Let's talk this out, because there's some holes in the story that we should at least deliberate on. And like you said, at least convince me. And he said, yo, I don't know if I'm letting the murderer out on the loose, but I do feel like we should at least have the conversation and do the due diligence that we are being paid. We're not paid to do, but I mean, basically you are, because when you're on jury duty, you still get paid from your job. Like, that's one of the laws. So it's like for us to be sitting here, we're still getting paid. It's not like we're missing a paycheck or anything. I think that we should do the right thing, especially by sending somebody to the chair and to just go in there and just easily say, yo, guilty. And like, I just think that the way that they did the script, and to also put it to where the last one to flip was juror 3, for him to be able to, because he's having personal issues with his own child, because they had an argument, and basically the way he put it, his son basically stood up to him. They had an argument and the son left, and I'm guessing his son never came back home. Right. And for him to be like, yo, all these teenagers are like this, they're ungrateful, they're bad, all this type shit. And for him to take that personal agenda in there to like, can you imagine that you're on trial for your life, and there's a juror who's bringing some personal shit from home because he got a problem with somebody back at home, that he wanted to take that shit out on you?
And that's supposed to be an unbiased opinion.
Yo, to put that in there, I felt that they did a tremendous job, man. This movie had three Oscar nominations, which, I'm not no Oscar person, but some of y'all may be. But this movie had 17 wins and 13 nominations as far as like all awards.
Yeah, as it should.
And I'm not a ratings person, but this movie got a 9.0 on IMDb out of 10. So
worth it.
This movie is portrayed that way, and I think that what's great about doing a movie like this, and one of the reasons I wanted to do it was to show just how diverse this podcast can be. Because we haven't done any black and white films on here, and I just think that the intelligence of this movie and how much this movie still stand up to date. Like they've now remade it a couple of times, but I don't think that we're gonna get these same type of performances. I think the casting that they did for this was very well, especially for that time. And so what I want to get into, just to have a little fun, is like the very first thing that they pinpointed on was the knife, right? They was talking about how unique this knife was. They was like, oh man, nobody's gonna be able to find another knife like that. And for my man just to, you know what I'm saying, pull a slick one and just put, like, they asked the bailiff to bring the knife that was in evidence, and my man just slickly pulled it out of his pocket and stuck it on the table.
That was crazy.
That shit was wild. And they was like, yo, where you get that at? He said, yo, I went to where the kids stay. He said, yo, they had this knife at pretty much every pawn shop or whatever store I went to.
Now, see, that's what bugged me, because in the beginning of it, right, when they was talking about when they had interviewed the pawn dealer, he said that that's the last one they had left. That's the only one of that kind. And then nobody else brought that back up. That's the only thing that bothered me about the movie. When they was talking about that knife, nobody else brought that back up.
Yeah, and it's like he was able to prove anybody else could have got access to that knife. They tried to make it seem like the knife was so unique that nobody else could get their hands on it.
Exactly.
So he was able to prove that point of like, yo, I was able to get this knife just because I took, and then that's another thing, just to take the measures of, you know what, instead of going home after work tonight, let me go by this kid's neighborhood and just let me just see if I can find this unique knife that they said that nobody could find. For somebody to take it that serious, which you should, because this is a person's life on the line. So he was able to do that and prove that it wasn't that unique to find that knife. Then the one neighbor below him to say, yo, I heard a scream that I'm going to kill you, and then I heard the body hit the floor. And then, not only that, my man got a limp.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he was in his bedroom, and he made it to the door.
Faster than the kid, though.
Faster than the kid when the kid was running. But not only that, an L train is passing by. But you heard somebody clearly say, I'm going to kill you, and you heard a body hit the floor when the L train is passing by.
Now, this is something that I want to explain, right? Because I totally felt that. So, for anybody who don't understand what especially if you've seen this, if you don't understand the whole purpose of him saying the noise of the train, he wouldn't have been able to hear it. So I lived 4 blocks down from a railroad crossing. Okay. 4 blocks.
Yeah.
And I could literally hear the train passing and tooting its horn in my house.
Yeah.
And that's 4 blocks away. So imagine a subway train without the horn, but just a subway train going through next to your house, right there in front of your house.
Yeah, right. The railroad, like, right beside your window.
If you cough, you're not gonna hear yourself. You feel me? I mean it. Like, that's how loud those trains are, bro. So, like, when he said that, I felt that in my soul. I was like, oh yeah, he definitely didn't hear nothing. Or if he did hear something, it wasn't coming from that room, or it wasn't coming from that apartment. And
then he did the whole sliding of the leg thing and be like, ain't no way he could have saw that kid running down.
Oh yeah, that was brilliant.
That was super brilliant. And then to also tie into that point, the lady that lived across the building, she said that she can see through the last 2 L trains. So which proves for the first witness, it ain't no way in hell you heard, because the lady just told us across the street. The lady said that she saw someone being stabbed through the last 2 trains. the last two cars of the train. So that means it happened. So the body had to hit the floor.
Yeah.
While the train was going by.
Right.
Then he used the whole glasses point because one man, which was juror
3.
No, juror 4, the one that wore glasses.
Oh, that's right. Number 1 was at the head of the table. You're right.
And he was like, squeezing his nose. Everybody knows, with people who have to wear glasses all the time, they get those indentions on their nose.
It hurt.
Yeah. And they was like, so it's 10 o'clock at night. You telling me that this lady she said she was tossing and turning in bed.
Mm-hmm.
She ain't got her glasses on. So how the hell could she say, yo, that was that kid? It was like everything that every witness said, he was able to find holes in every single person's story.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that to be able to get the people to turn one by one the way that he did, it wasn't just by coincidence. It was to be able to put in that reasonable doubt. Mm-hmm. And I think that what makes this movie so brilliant. And also, you know what I'm saying, for the people that, if you're new to this podcast, you know what I'm saying, Scoots Brunson was on the debate team. You know what I mean? And I was just like, when I first started really thinking about, because like, first of all, it's like I'm always thinking about the podcast. Like, what can we do next? What's an interesting movie that we could do? And then like every time I would think about 12 Angry Men, I was like, yo, I'm pretty sure he never seen it. But I was like, I know this dude would appreciate this shit because I just feel that you would be one of those guys that could go in there and you could take all of that evidence that you just took and to be able, and it wasn't because juror 3 was like, yo, you're taking all the evidence and you twisting and turning it. Like, no, he's not twisting and turning it. He's just showing you, yo, there is some reasonable doubt that could be proven in here. And it was just like, and I think that also, I think race kind of played a factor because I think that maybe those people was like, yo, we don't want those immigrants standing in the neighborhood. And one of the jurors grew up in that same neighborhood, and he was an immigrant as well. I think that was juror 5, 11? If I'm not mistaken. He was like, yo,
the immigrant was number 11.
Oh, okay. Because he was just like, yo, like I've been in that neighborhood. Mm-hmm. No, yeah. The immigrant was number 11, but it was another guy who grew up in that same neighborhood as that kid was in. Because they were talking about, the people that live over there, they're troublemakers.
You're right.
And he was like, yo, like, listen, man, I grew up over there.
He was talking about the knife fight.
Yeah. Yeah, he was the one that was like, you never stab somebody down. Yeah. He was like, in the switch knife, you always go upward because you can do it quick.
Nobody in history has ever used a switchblade like OJ. Everybody has always used it like dude in the Michael Jackson Bad video.
Yes.
So, I mean, to be honest with you, man, it's interesting seeing the progression of each character as Henry Fonda was juror 8, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but it was interesting seeing the progression of each character as juror 8 kind of basically showed that, you know what I'm saying, something was off about this case. You know, how they broke down how when the lady came in, she, you know what I'm saying, she kind of dressed a little younger than, you know what I'm saying, her maturity was, and how she had certain, you know what I'm saying, makeup on. You know what I'm saying? With the older man, you know, they broke down how, you know what I'm saying, his clothes was kind of, you know, a little raggedy and everything else like that. He was just actually happy for the attention to be heard for a change. You know, even when they would play out, you know what I'm saying, the things that were happening, you know, when he asked them, you know, about the glasses, or, you know, they brought up the situation about how he ran out, you know, saying the murderer ran out the house and then later on tried to come back and clean his handprints off the knife. Yeah. What to me, I'm like, that's the thing that to me was crazy when he said that, because I'm like, all right, now this is the longest reach I've ever
reaching seen. Yeah
this is a minute bowl reach right here, because I'm like I'm like, yo, if he went back to clean his fingerprints off the knife, why did he just take the knife?
And then they tried to say, how he panicked on the press because they was like he couldn't remember any movies that he saw. My thing is, so you kill somebody at 10:30, you leave, and you go see a movie, and then you come back because you remember why you was watching a movie. Now you couldn't remember what you watched.
Forget all that. It was 3 months ago.
No, it was 3 hours.
No,
no, you're talking about how long the trial? Yeah, 3 months.
Yeah, for the trial, 3 months had passed. Don't nobody remember what happened 3 months ago, man. Ain't nobody paying that much attention to life.
Well, they said that the police questioned him at the house when he left and watched the movie. When he came back, the police was there.
Yeah,
and they said that the police asked him.
Ground.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point to bring up because it's like you have an argument with your father, you leave, you go blow some steam, you go watch a movie, you come back. There's police is everywhere, and they're questioning you, and you can look over to the right and you see your dad on the floor dead. And it's like, yo, what movie did you go see? It's like, yo, like I'm so stressed out and then you also got to consider he was 18 years old, and it's like he's probably, I mean, that's got to be a traumatic thing to go through. Like you're not thinking about who was in the movie you just watched, or especially back then because those times was different. Like we got fucking trailers and all types of shit. It's just like they just showing a movie. Like it's not like it. And then,
well, they would have the names, like usually depending on who it was, they would have the names either in the front of the movie or like in credits already. Like because remember the credits used to be in front of the movie, or they would do it as the movie is playing on.
Yeah, and I think that probably walking into the house, he knew, but I think that all of that trauma from dealing with that at that time, like just being slapped in the face with all of that, like, yeah, I could see how the kid couldn't remember what he literally just saw. Like, so, man, like, I thought that all of the things that they was able to cover in this movie, man, it was very, very, very impressive, man, to really to sit back and watch it and watch a guy. And I know I keep saying it over and over again, but I think people think it's easy. It's not easy when everybody's, because remember I said it's a great coincidence for us to do Cocaine Cowboys, the last documentary we did, not counting Snowfall, but the last thing we did other than Snowfall, where jurors was bought. And, so you're sitting there thinking about like how that whole jury room went into us to be doing a movie that's, basically take place in one room where they deliberating the trial. And I just think that there are a lot of followers in this world.
Yeah.
There aren't a lot of leaders. And I don't think that it's not more easier said than done. I think everybody like, oh, if I felt like somebody's not guilty, I'll prove my case. I don't think a lot of people would do it. I don't think people know how difficult that shit really is.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's not as easy as people think it is, first and foremost. And then, like, secondly, how many people could have dealt with juror number 3?
Yeah. Juror number 3 was wilding.
Yeah, like, dude, dude had to check him, like, yo, you talk to the old man like that again, like, yo, me and you gonna have at it. Like, relax, my boy. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but just like, and then even the fact of, they getting mad because the votes are switching. Like it's so many different intangibles in this movie of like, if you put yourself in that room, like you really have to have the mental capacity to be able to first keep calm. Second, actually, come up with theories or pay attention enough or have the awareness to find the holes in each, in each witness's testimony, like all that kind of stuff. Like that's not an easy thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Like people watch a whole movie, a whole Batman movie and miss the Easter eggs. So I know if you in a trial, a 4-day trial, you're gonna miss a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And then I like how they were able to pick how the old man that was in it, how he was able to pick apart the the one guy, the person that lived below the apartment that got murdered, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, if I'm not mistaken, that was Juror 9. That was the old guy. So he's like, you're 80 or 70 something years old. He was like, I saw a slit in his coat.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah.
And he was just like, yo. And then he walked real slow, and he was like, and you could tell he had a limp, but he was trying to cover up that limp.
Right.
And he's like, what that told me about this guy, he really ain't got no friends. Nobody really talked to him. He's just a person that's always being ignored. And he was just like, this gave him, basically, this trial gave him attention. Like, this was a guy that nobody fucked with. So, yeah, he's going to say some shit just so people would notice him.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought to be able to have the brain capacity to be like, and I think he was kind of talking about himself too.
Definitely.
Because he was an older gentleman.
He was talking about himself a lot in this movie.
Yeah. And I think he understood what that old gentleman was going through, because he was just like, yo, you could tell like this guy just wants somebody to pay him some attention.
Yeah, he just wants a little love.
Yeah, so when the police came down there to question him, it's like, shit, you know what? I heard this, I heard that, I will testify that I saw this. And it's just like, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking murder.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking murder. This kid was 18 years old. He could have got the chair. This dude was up for getting the chair. And you just, because you're lonely and you don't have anybody to talk to and you just want somebody to pay you some attention, and you're going to make up a damn story saying that this kid said this, and I saw him running down the steps.
This was the important thing. They never said that he made it up. This was the very important thing. And this is what I liked about it. He said maybe he believed he saw him run and, you know what I'm saying, down the stairs. So
he saw someone, son.
Exactly. But I thought that was important that he, you know what I'm saying, the way he worded things and the way he put things together. Because that was very important, especially talking to them in that setting. Like, to be able to say that, like, well, I'm not saying that he didn't do it, and I'm not saying that he did. Maybe he believed he seen him. You know what I'm saying? That's different than saying, well, I don't think he saw him. I think he's just saying he saw him. Like, nah, maybe he actually believed he saw him run. It just wasn't him. You know what I'm saying? Two things could be, you know what I'm saying, what it is. So I thought that was very important, especially the way everything was going. And then, like, I thought it was I thought it was funny when the brand strategist, the marketing guy, you know what I'm saying, he switched over to not guilty, and you know what I'm saying, they basically bully balled him into going back to guilty. Yo, I was like, my man, like, what are you doing? Like, you're supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, you the youngest one in there. You can knuckle up with any of them. Like, you're supposed to be standing up for yourself. But it was just crazy, man, just to see how. And this is why I say, like, I really like this pick, man, because it's really a reflection of society. I mean, like, it truly is. And I'm not just talking about the year it came out. I'm talking about in general. I'm talking about people. I'm talking about the habits of people. I'm talking about all that. It's just a reflection of society. Like, if you watch this movie, you'll see how at first they all go from basically saying, no, he's just guilty, looking at surface level stuff. Because that's what we do now. You know what I'm saying? We see a headline and we like, oh, such and such did. We don't actually go into the facts, go into the evidence, you know what I'm saying? Cross-reference, examine. We don't do none of that. We just take everything from the surface. I thought that was a very interesting thing that they added in there. Secondly, you know what I'm saying? Bringing it up again, them bullying the marketing guy. You know what I mean? Like, the fact that he switched over because he actually agreed with him. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Now, come to think about it, no. Like, yeah, that he might not be guilty. And then they yelling at him and screaming at him. He feel that pressure. He like, you know what? Nah, he guilty. I'm tripping. He good. You know what I'm saying? Second guessing yourself.
Yeah, that was a very important scene, because even within changing to guilty, he kind of like looked down and like he was literally ashamed with himself, because they even called him out and said, yo, this dude is over here flip-flopping, and you know he don't know if he's guilty or not guilty. He can't even make his mind up. And I think that within that going on, he's like, what it is, he's ashamed. He was ashamed because he realized I am a follower. I am only going along with what's popular in the room, because I believe the point where he had made the flip flop was when they was breaking down. Let me see. I think that this was before the glasses. It was before they was talking about the glasses being broke down. It was what it was when he had asked when Juror 8, which was Henry Fonda, asked Juror 4 about under distress, like, he was like, what did you do?
Oh man,
last night?
That was great. That was
he
great.
Was like, so he told him everything he did. What you do the night before? And he was like, what you do the night before? And so then what ended up happening once they got to like the fourth day, you can see, and this is another thing that was great about the script, yo. I don't know if this was planned or what, but then you start to see a sweat because he was the only one.
He didn't sweat the whole time. Yeah,
he didn't. Yeah, he didn't sweat the whole time because they were talking about how hot it was.
Yeah,
and he didn't sweat the whole time. But once
I thought somebody was gonna bring that up.
Yeah, and so then like that one piece of sweat started going on his forehead, but yeah, that one juror, man, like the young broker guy, I think he was just ashamed. He looked down because he was like, yo, I am a follower and I have no backbone. He was like, I'm only flipping.
And he didn't add anything. To me, he was just there to be there. Like, he didn't add anything to the damn story.
Yeah.
He was just like and that's why I said, like, I think he was intentionally added in, right? His character was intentionally added in because he technically didn't have a part to where he was like, you know, how everybody else was kind of standing up saying something. They had like certain monologues. Each of them had a monologue or whatever. So he didn't have any of that. But I think he was supposed to be basically one of the members of society who feel the peer pressure, you know?
Yeah, and I think he was just there because it has to be 12. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, because even the dude that was the leader, Juror 1, like, he didn't really have too many monologues. He just kind of like basically went along with the shit and was like, okay, let's do the revote. Like, he was just the guy and it was just so interesting, man, to even when he flipped, because it was just like, because they did the first thing they did was they have everybody to raise their hand for a guilty, not guilty. Then the second time they was like, yo, we're gonna do a written ballot, where a secret ballot where we ain't gonna know who, you know what I'm saying, if anybody changed.
Anonymous.
So then once they started doing it again, like, then they started arguing about how they was doing it and how a person was switching, and then they went through the table because he was the one, Juror 1, he was the one to make it even. He was the one to make it 6-6. And it was just like the room, like, you could just feel like the energy in that room. And I think they made a point to show us, and maybe it was just for that one scene. Even if it was for that one scene, this was brilliant writing, because they made it a point to say how hot it is in there and how everybody was sweating except that one dude. Juror 4 was the only one who did not sweat until Juror 8 started getting into his ass about what he remembered.
Right.
And he started being, you know what I'm saying, he started being pressed, and then that one piece of sweat started going down his forehead. Dude, I thought that was a brilliant thing to put into that damn script.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. And then what I also like too is after a while, you know what I'm saying, the rain came in. You know what I'm saying? So now Juror 7 didn't have a reason to leave. You know what I'm saying? So now if you notice toward the end of it, he really start paying more attention to it. You know what I'm saying? The fans start working. So everybody sort of calmed down. It wasn't as, you know what I'm saying, aggressive and angry. So I mean, like, that's what I mean by like the progressions of this movie. It's so many different progressions in this movie of, you know what I'm saying, each character, and not only that, just the group in general. I felt like this was really a great movie. And then the monologues in the movie too were fantastic. You know what I'm saying? From Juror 3 talking about his son. Juror 8, you know what I'm saying, basically talking about how, you know what I'm saying, basically we have to be proven beyond reasonable doubt that this is this and it's not. Juror 1, you know what I'm saying, going off about being the leader and nobody's actually listening to him. And then after a while, everybody else was just like, nah, man, you good. Just relax. You know what I'm saying? We're going to follow your lead. And then, Juror, who was that? Juror 10 going off, you know what I'm saying, with the whole racist thing. So I mean, it was nice. This is one of those ones I could definitely watch again.
Yeah, and then it's also it's just one of those movies, like you said, it's full of the monologue. There ain't no blowing up, there ain't no girls in it, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody to catch your eye. Like, this is one of those movies where you're sitting there and you're listening to what everybody's saying.
Yeah, and you feel like you're in the room.
Yeah, like it's because it gets intense.
Yeah,
it gets very intense, man. And I think that this is a very mature movie. I think that this is one of those movies. If you are one of those watcher of movies who don't really like to get anything out of the movies that you're watching or any experiences out of the movie you're watching, you probably wouldn't fuck with this. But if you're one of those movie watchers who you really get in depth with the story, you love a good screenplay, and you just really love like really, really good acting, like these people was pretty much perfectly selected for this movie.
Yeah,
like I mentioned some people about some things that I end up seeing some of these other people in. Like I mentioned that in the beginning of the movie, so you might have seen some of these other people in some other stuff. But like, just the way that they picked it, and then man, like a guy like Henry Fonda, for the people who didn't hear the coming soon, he is the father of Jane Fonda. Jane Fonda has, her IMDb is crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
And but not only that, man, just the thing that she did as an activist. Like, they got a whole movie about how she was an activist and how she kept going to jail. How she was fighting for civil rights and women's rights and all this type of shit like that. And then his Henry Fonda's granddaughter is Bridget Fonda. Now, you might have seen Bridget Fonda. She was in the only good Lake Placid. I think all the rest of the Lake Placid came out was trash.
They did good sci-fi movies.
Yeah, the first one ended up being good. And Betty White was in that joint too. Betty White was the one. Betty White was the one that was. She was rest in peace to her. She was the one that was feeding the big ass damn alligators.
Yeah, because they was in her backyard.
In her backyard. Then she ended up having babies, and she ended up feeding the babies, man. So she was out there. She was fucking that up. But she was in a lot of stuff. I think she was in that one movie. I think it was Replacement Killers. So she ended up having a really good career as well. But the Fonda family, man, when it comes to Hollywood, man, like that's one of those families that don't really get mentioned a lot. But I think Henry laid down a good foundation, man. He ended up playing in. Obviously, I didn't see a lot of them, but like some of those movies, like you've heard of them, or they at least remade them. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was in some movies that was very significant at the time. But yeah, man, I think that this cast, I think they did a really, really good job on the cast. Henry Fonda was in. Well, you didn't watch it. He was in the original Roots. They came out in '79.
I didn't watch what?
But Roots. Oh, did you not? What? It was the remake of the Roots that you didn't watch, right? You seen the original one?
Yeah, with LeVar Burton.
And James Earl Jones.
Yeah, I seen the original. Yeah. Everybody's seen the original Roots. If you black and you went to a school, you seen the Roots.
Yeah, Henry Fonda was in that. You know what I'm saying? So, but nah, man.
Real quick though. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but they should have never showed us that movie in school.
That was nuts. They showed us that movie in school.
Yeah, now that I think about that, like now that I think back on that, we should have never watched The Roots in school.
Okay, so how do you feel about To Kill a Mockingbird?
I have to go back and watch it. But
because
from what I remember, that's because Samuel L. Jackson is in there, right?
No.
No, I'm thinking of
that shit old as fuck. To Kill a Mockingbird is black and white.
it's more than one.
Oh well, I mean, if they remade
I think it is. Wait a minute. Go ahead though.
I only seen the original and I read the book. That's why I told you I got mistaken. Like now this one was the one where there was a black man on trial. Yeah. And he ended up, and I think what it was, if I'm not mistaken, the main character in To Kill a Mockingbird was his lawyer, if I'm not mistaken. Right. And but they showed us that movie, and we read the book. We had to do both. We had to read the book, and we had to watch it. What you discovered?
Okay. I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of.
Are you thinking about Time to Kill?
Thank you.
Man, you don't get your damn ass the fuck up out of here.
Kill, man. It was the Kill that got me. But no, To Kill a Mockingbird, I know what you're talking about. This is the one with Gregory Peck. Okay, so crazy story, right? Okay. Also, this is Robert Duvall is in this too. And I know Robert Duvall, right? Because my grandmother had a crush on Robert Duvall. She said that was
The Godfather.
I don't know if it was that. I just know she said he was one of the handsomest white men she ever seen. So yeah, whatever that means. But
dude, he had the George Jefferson back in the 70s, my guy.
Oh, for sure.
That's crazy.
For sure. But Robert Duvall's my dude though, man. Like, he's been in some great fucking movies, bro.
Man, I got 2 on the docket that he's in that we haven't done yet.
Yeah.
Colors and The Judge. I got those 2 in the show notes of future movies that got Robert Duvall in it.
You wanna know my favorite movie Robert Duvall is in?
Okay, I'm trying to think of comedies.
You already know it is.
I don't know what is it?
Kicking and Screaming, bro.
Kicking and Screaming.
He played Will Ferrell's dad in that movie. Yeah, he played Will Ferrell's dad in that movie. When I tell you, bro, hell, that movie, bro, he did a hell of a job in that movie. That's a great fucking movie, bro. He did a good job in that. But nah, yeah, my grandmother, like, she was really in love with Robert Duvall.
That's funny. But I fuck with Robert Duvall.
But no, yeah, To Kill a Mockingbird, my grandma used to watch like these type movies, like black and white joints. Like, remember when they used to come on like
with TMC?
TMC, I better say AMC, but TMC. She used to watch TCM all the time.
TCM, that's what it was. Yeah. I used to fuck with now
TMC is Nipsey Hussle's what's his name? Rest in peace, Nip. But no, but no, one thing I did see, one thing about this movie too, bro, is that I don't know if it was just me, but this motherfucking movie is shot like Dragnet.
Dragnet.
Have you ever seen Dragnet?
Nah.
Okay. So like, if you ever seen like, because once again, like I said, I used to be around my grandparents a lot, both my grandmothers a lot. So my dad's mom, right, watched like hella westerns.
Mm-hmm.
She would watch like hella, like to this day I watch westerns because of her. But my mom's mom, right, she watched soap operas and like black and white movies and shit. So that's how I know like Dragnet, you know what I'm saying, like all those old shows and shit like that. I watched because of my grandmother, my mom's mom. So like Dragnet is like an old like detective black and white show. Mm-hmm. And then so basically like the way that 12 Angry Men is shot, it's shot like an old like detective mystery show. Like like when Henry Fonda is walking to the when he's walking to the water cooler and everybody else is in the back like talking, you know what I'm saying? Like they talking amongst themselves, and then like he stops, he looks back, and then he look off again and he look back, and then they got the ding like that.
Yeah.
that comes from old like detective mystery shows.
Yeah, I never seen any of those.
Like go back and watch like a couple of them old black and white joints, or like them old PI private investigator shows and shit like that, or private investigator. I'm telling you, you'll see the exact scene I'm talking about. Different character, different set, and all that. But it's a certain shot. They'll shoot it right. They'll slowly zoom in. They'll slowly pan in on his face. It's a zoom pan on his face. And then the music go dun dun dun, and it's like a subtle drone on the piano, and then it'll fade off into the next scene. It never fails. It's on every. I mean, like, and they did this in every episode.
Well, see, that was the dramatic sound back then. Like it was the same. It was the same. It had to be the same cadence, same sound.
I'm telling you. Yeah, it never fails. But it worked. It worked at the time, though. You know what I'm saying? Like it gave you that effect. Like you could see the worry on his face. You could see, you know what I'm saying? He kind of had that self-doubt in that shot. So like that definitely helped for the, you know what I'm saying, for what they needed it to. But when I seen that, it just made me laugh because I'm like, yo, this shit is shot like an old murder mystery.
So how about this? This is another one. Now this movie got color, but Gone with the Wind. Yo, we watched that in school.
Never watched Gone with the Wind.
You never.
I never wanted to watch Gone with the Wind. Yo, I read Gone with the Wind.
I'm sorry, bro. I fuck with Gone with the Wind. I hate to say it, but I do. Yo, Scarlett O'Hara.
She's alright. But listen.
Shit.
So okay. So like. It's a select few movies, right, that I try to stay away from because like the racism in that motherfucker is like so, it's like in your face. It's like hugging the shit out your face. Like that one is one of the ones.
Yeah, it's one of the ones because of the now Uncle Washington, you know, rest in peace to my guy. I love my guy. He used to bring up that movie a lot because I forget. I'm sorry, I forget what her name is, but the
black lady,
the maid lady, Mammy, she had ended up getting some flack for playing that role, and they was like, yo, because she was portraying basically a slave that was a maid type of lady, like basically a house nigga, basically.
No. She was playing the Mammy. She was
like the nanny. Yeah.
No. She was like the nurse. She was like a nursing slave. That's what Mammy is. That's a nursing slave.
Okay. And he was saying that, and it was like, would you rather get like it was something crazy like $7 a day or 75 or something. Basically what he was saying was she got paid pretty handsomely for that time for playing that role. And like
any nigga that play in a slave movie do.
And like, but he was saying that back then she was getting flack from like the black community for doing it.
We still get them, bro.
Yeah.
LeVar Burton and them was getting flack for Roots. Fucking I'm sure Damon Hinsu probably got flack for doing Amistad. Nigga, you tell Checkway dude, he probably got flack for doing 12 Years a Slave. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though that's supposed to be a biography, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, come on, my nigga. Like, okay, we getting tired of slave movies.
Yeah.
Hell, Jamie Foxx got flack for doing Django.
Yeah, but it felt like a lot of people was going more after Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Than Jamie Foxx.
And they killed Samuel L. Jackson too.
Yeah, he needed.
Which he did a hell of a job in that movie, bro.
He did. He killed that. But now, like, but yeah, just also that movie's going on during the civil rights movement.
Mm-hmm.
Gone with the Wind is proclaimed. For number one, it should have never been 3 hours long. But also
they gotta let you know you're a nigga.
But then at the same time, it was kind of like it just tells you how much the time has changed. Where they almost didn't show this movie in theaters because he says one line at the end that says, "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn." Like they was literally about to keep it out the theaters because
they don't care that these motherfuckers had nigga maids.
Yeah, but what the movie industry was mad about was because he said, "I don't give a damn."
Man, fuck the movie
And
industry.
that was at the end of the movie.
You wanna
That was
know
that was the last line.
You wanna know another movie that I don't fuck with? And shout out to my boy because I love Morgan Freeman. But Driving Miss Daisy, bro, fuck that movie.
Man, listen. You know, I've never seen it from front to end. Nigga, I've always seen like pieces of it.
When I seen him, I ain't even seen the movie. I just seen the trailer, and that nigga was in there talking like a slave.
Yeah,
Morgan Freeman don't talk like that.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of Driving Miss Daisy. I've never seen it all the way through. I never even understood why the movie was even made. I don't even know why he even agreed to do the shit.
That nigga said, yes, Miss Daisy. I said, oh, no, I can't watch that, my boy. I'm cool on that.
Yeah, I never fucked with that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, we went down a little spell there. But yeah, man, this
this is amazing though. This movie was amazing though.
Yeah, it definitely was, man. Ready for the flames?
Mm-hmm.
Yoga fire, yoga flame.
All right, so listen, man, you got me. I'm not gonna lie, you got me. 4.5.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I ain't mad at it.
The way it was shot, I think it was genius to keep it in like I said. I know it's other places and settings that they are. So of course it's multi scene. But to me, I felt like this was one big ass scene in the movie. That's just how I feel. It feels like one big scene. The actors did a great job. It's great to go back and watch movies where monologues were important because we don't get a lot of those anymore. Especially with new actors and everything else. Like the monologue was the shit back in the day.
Yep.
So, it was good to see, and then multiple monologues at that. So it wasn't just, that one big scene. It was like multiple scenes. And then it's like the tension in the room. You felt that, you know what I'm saying? The anxiety, you felt that, the anger, you know what I'm saying? The confusion, the doubt, you felt all of that, you know what I'm saying, with each character. And I think that it was important for them to have each character be shown in single shot, you know what I'm saying, during certain parts, you know what I mean? And even showing, you know what I'm saying, the side conversations they were having and stuff like that. So this was a great movie, man. 4.5.
Man, I hear you and I raise you. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 5, man.
I'm not mad at it.
This is one of those movies, man. I honestly can watch just watch it. Like I could just pick it and watch it. I think it's that good. It's a very slept on movie, but like I said, they remade it a few times. If y'all are interested in watching the one that we're talking about, I said it in the beginning. I say it again. It's the 1957 version. I think they remade it at least once or twice, but I think I really fucked with this one. I never watched any of the remakes. I think it's that good. Like you said, the monologues was important. There ain't no side distractions. There ain't no bombs. There ain't no women to distract you or anything like that. This is just clean cut to the point. Like they show you somebody else winning a case. And then they go into their courtroom, they show you the kid, they show you the jurors, they show you the judge, and then they in one room. And then it shows everybody going their separate ways once it's over. Mm-hmm. I think that this movie is just really, really good for a movie to be in one room, basically, and for the screenplay and the actors to carry it out as well as they did. I gotta give it a 5, man. So, but I gotta say before we close it out, man, like I am so glad you fuck with this shit, yo. Like I'm telling you, sure, like usually, when I make suggestions, I be like, man, I hope you like it. I hope you like it. Especially if you never seen it, I'd be like, I hope you like it. But like this time, I was like, really, like, man, I really hope he fuck with this shit because this is like probably, obviously, this is this got to be the largest difference of type of movies that we've done.
Right.
Like we haven't done no movie as as old as this. where pretty much everybody in this movie is dead. You know what I'm saying? We ain't done. Rest in peace to all of them, but we ain't done no movies like this, man. So I'm really glad you fucked with this one, man.
Yeah, for sure, bro. I'm glad that we got a chance to watch this one and do this one. So, maybe we can find another one like this real soon, man. Let's get into this coming soon. Speaking of soon.
Coming soon. Coming soon.
All right, so we back at it. Next episode, you already know what it is, man. Next episode of Snowfall. We getting into it. It's getting crazy. You know what I'm saying? We seen a fucking tiger last episode. We seen a white man with a dart gun. You know what I'm saying? We seen drive-bys. It went down. It was going crazy. What you think is gonna happen in this next episode, bro?
Man, I saw a quick. It was one of those things where they were just really kind of talking to Javi, but I think that we're gonna see an escape. I don't know if both of them are gonna make it out. When it comes to Franklin and also, I think that we're gonna either see or we're gonna either see or at least hear about Teddy getting raped. I think that's gonna come out in this next scene. Also,
hold on, wait a minute. What?
Yeah, we're gonna see Teddy either getting raped or it's being spoken about how she did.
Okay.
What? Listen, men can be raped.
Teddy got raped?
Dude, women can rape men. She can drug them. You know what I'm saying? You can't control your dick. You know what I'm saying? If she's sitting there fucking with you, you know what I'm saying? That bad boy gonna come up and she gonna say what she want, man.
Man, let me tell you something about that lady. I honestly don't think she raped him.
I think she going to.
I think she gonna try, but I don't think she raped him.
I feel you.
Or she just gonna do that weird torture sex thing she like, and then just keep jilling off.
That's possible, but I think I will say this though. The one thing that I can guarantee is that there is going to be a conversation with Black Diamond and Dallas through Jerome and Louis.
I hope not. That's going to be a different one because they just pieced it up. So I hope not. I hope that ain't the case. Also, don't forget, Peaches got HIV.
Yes.
Let's not forget that. I'm calling that. That's my hot take. I think I called it when he was first coughing.
You did.
Okay, just making sure. So yeah, I'm sticking to that one. So we'll see, man. Next episode, you guys tune in, get ready. We're gonna be ready for this one. So I think that's all we got, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, if that's the case, then why don't y'all hit us up on the socials? You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at ViewerNonPod. Don't hesitate to interact with us, man. If you think we wrong about something we said, if you love something we said, if you simply just want to have a conversation about one of the movies or television shows we reviewed, then feel free to hit us up. Or you can hit us up on Facebook at VA Pod Watch Group. Also follow me on Twitter at Scoots Bronson and check me out on TikTok at Scoots Bronson TV.
Yes, sir, man. And y'all can find me at s.foster8. That's on Instagram and Twitter. You also can catch me at 28 minutes or less pod. That's just on IG. Check out the last pod that I put out, episode 78. that is the most slept on, man. I had to do a pod speaking on the phenomenal, unprecedented run that's going on with the Alchemist right now.
Mm-hmm.
I sat back, I waited and I waited and I waited. None of the mainstream wanted to do it. So I said, you know what? I do it myself. Like this dude run that he's been on had to be spoke about.
For
So
sure.
I spoke about, you know what I'm saying, my favorite producer, The Alchemist, and what he's been putting in mainly for the last 2 years, the work that he's been involved with. So go check out that episode if you're interested. It's on all major platforms.
Yo, him, DJ Premier, Pharrell, Jermaine Dupri, Dr. Dre, and I'm missing somebody. Timbaland. Yo, they've been doing it for a while.
Yep.
They have
Alchemist been doing it.
for a
Well, he
while.
started, you know, I didn't know he started out as a rapper in '92. He was in a group. He was in a rap group. And they said that oh man, who was talking about him? I was just listening to something that was saying that oh shit, I forgot who it was, but they talked about how he started as a rapper. He was in a rap group, and they said he had bars, but then they say he just, you know, got into producing and stuff. And I didn't know he's been Eminem DJ since 2005.
Wow.
I had no idea. But then once I realized that his record label ALC is under Shady.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
And that's why he fought with the Griselda boys, because they're on the Shady. But I heard that Conway
kind of trying to get up out of there.
Yeah, trying to get up out of there. But
that's not. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. It's Shady is shady.
It's starting to seem that way.
Yeah, between the Slaughterhouse thing, Griselda, we still don't know what the hell happened to D12. Like,
yeah, they just faded away.
Yeah, the only one that I think stuck around was like who, 50?
But 50 had his own thing, and 50 ain't even doing music no more.
No, I'm just saying, like that was, you know what I mean, that was that.
But he was Shady Aftermath though too. He wasn't just Shady.
Yeah, true. So, I don't know, man. Yep. That's a different one, man. But you know, it is what it is.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. It's always greatly appreciated. Until next time, we'll catch you on the next episode. And like they say in Hollywood, that's a wrap.
Cut.